We're all very happy to be here at the Christian Science Church. We started Will in the Woods 5 years ago, and we chose a format of scenes and sonnets and soliloquies for two reasons. One was we realized everybody's pretty much steeped in the fast pace of TV. And the second reason is that although there are many people who love Shakespeare, there are an equal amount who are unfamiliar with him and his various pieces, his beautiful words, his beautiful characters. So we decided for this 5th anniversary to go back to the theme of favorites, only this time with a twist. We decided to ask our audience what their favorites were, so we invited a couple hundred people to vote, and what we did was craft the show around those responses today. So I wanted to add two other things, and that is for all things theatrical, if you would please silence your cell phones, that would be ever so wonderful. And the second one is to acknowledge someone who's such an important part of our show and such an enjoyable part of our show, and that is our music maestro, Ed Hansen. And then we begin our show with a very famous scene from a very famous play. The great Caesar is dead, and the noble Brutus takes the floor and justifies the assassination. He then, with great trust, turns the floor over to Mark Antony. And what you will see is crowd manipulation at its very finest. So won't you please lend Mark Antony your ears. This is Julius Caesar, Act 3, Scene 2.
Quickly, we need to put smiles. Absolutely.
Okay,
right here. Very good.
We will be satisfied.
Very audience friends, and public reason shall be rendered of Caesar's death.
Here, Brutus.
Be patient to the last. Romans, countrymen, and lovers, hear me for my cause, and be silent that you may hear. Believe me for mine honor, and have faith for mine honor, that you may believe. Censure me in your wisdom, and awake your senses, that you may the better judge. If there be any in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar's, to him I say, that Brutus's love to Caesar was no less than his. If then that friend demand why Brutus rose against Caesar, to him I say, not that I loved Caesar less, but that I loved Rome more. Had you rather that Caesar were living and die all slaves, than that Caesar were dead to live all free men? As Caesar loved me, I weep for him. As he was fortunate, I rejoice in it. As he was valiant, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. There is tears for his love, joy for his fortune, honor for his valor, and death for his ambition. Who is here so base that would be a bondman? If any speak, for him I have offended. Who is here so rude that would not be a Roman? If any speak, for him I have offended. Who is here so vile that will not love his country? If any speak, for him I have offended. I pause for reply. Then none have I offended. I have done no more to Caesar than you shall do to Brutus. The question of his death is enrolled in the Capitol. His glories not extenuated wherein he was worthy, nor his offenses enforced, for which he suffered death. Here comes his body, mourned by Mark Antony, who, though he had no hand in Caesar's death, shall receive the benefit of his dying, a place in the commonwealth, as which of you shall not? With this I depart, that as I slew my best lover for the good of Rome, so have I the same dagger for myself, when it shall please my country to need my death. My good countrymen, let me depart alone, and for my sake stay here with Mark Antony. Do grace to Caesar's corpse, and grace his speech tending to Caesar's glories, which Mark Antony, by our permission, is here allowed to give. I do entreat you, not a man depart, save I alone, till Antony have spoke.
Hail, Brutus! For Brutus' sake, I am beholden to you.
Antony, that Caesar was a tyrant.
Gentle Romans,
He was a tyrant.
friends, Romans, country, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is often interred with their bones, so let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus have told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here under leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honorable man, so are they all honorable men, come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When that the poor have cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure he is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure he is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here am I to tell you what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? O judgment, thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason! Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to me.
Oh, there is something to know. Something to
Look, he weeps.
Here is the man who paid
But yesterday, the word of Caesar might have stood against the world. Now lies he there, and none so poor to do him reverence. O masters, were I disposed to stir your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, I should do Brutus wrong, and Cassius wrong, who you all know are honorable men. I will not do them wrong. I choose rather to wrong the dead, to wrong myself, and you than I would wrong such honorable men. But here's a parchment with the seal of Caesar. I found it in his closet. 'Tis his will.
Whoa!
Let but the commons hear this testament, which, pardon me, I do not mean to read, and they would go and kiss dead Caesar's wounds, and dip their napkins in his sacred blood, yea, beg a hair of him for memory, and dying mention it in their wills, bequeathing it as a rich legacy unto their issue.
What's the
Read the will. Have patience, gentle friends, I must not read it. It is not meet, you know how Caesar loved you. You are not wood. You are not stones, but men. And being men, bearing the will of Caesar, it will inflame you. It will make you mad. No, 'tis best you know not that you are his heirs. For if you should, oh, what would come of it?
What's this now? Read it, Antony.
Deny us not! Deny us not!
Read the will!
Will you stay a while? I have o'ershot myself to even tell you of it. I fear I wrong the honorable men whose daggers have stabbed Caesar. I do fear it.
What honor, Antony? Villains, traitors, read it. Tell us.
Deny
Will
us not!
compel me then to read the will.
Yes. Oh, yes, read it.
Then make a ring about the corpse of Caesar.
Yeah.
And let me show you him that reigned round. Nay, press not so upon me. Stand
back.
far. If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. You all do know this mantle. I remember the first time ever Caesar put it on. It was on a summer's evening in his tent. That day he overcame the Nervii. Look, in this place ran Cassius' dagger through it. See what a rent the envious Casca made. Through this, the well-beloved Brutus stabbed. And as he plucked his cursed steel away, mark how the blood of Caesar followed it, as rushing out of doors to be resolved if Brutus so unkindly knocked or no. For Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel. Judge, oh you gods, how dearly Caesar loved him. This was the most unkindest cut of all. For when the noble Caesar saw him stabbed, ingratitude, more strong than traitor's arms, quite vanquished him. Then burst his mighty heart. And in his mantle, muffling up his face, even at the base of Pompey's statua, which all the while ran blood, great Caesar fell. Oh, what a fall was there, my countrymen. Then I, and you, and all of us fell down whilst bloody treason flourished over us.
Treason?
Oh, now you weep. And I perceive you feel the dint of pity. These are gracious drops. But kind souls, what? Weep you when you but behold our Caesar's vesture wounded? Look you here. Here is himself, marred, as you see, with traitors!
Most bloody sight!
Good friends, sweet friends, let me not stir you up to such a sudden flood of mutiny. They that have done this deed are honorable. What private griefs they have, alas, I know not that made them do it. They are wise and honorable, and will no doubt with reasons answer you. I come not to steal away your hearts. I am no orator, as Brutus is, but as you know me all, a plain, blunt man that loved my friend. And that they know full well that gave me public leave to speak of him. For I have neither wit, nor words, nor worth, action, nor utterance, nor the power of speech to stir men's blood. I only speak right on. Tell you that which you yourselves do know. Show you sweet Caesar's wounds, poor dumb mouths, and bid them speak for me. But were I Brutus, and Brutus Antony, there where an Antony would ruffle up your spirits, put a tongue in every wound of Caesar that would move the stones of Rome to rise and mutiny.
We all mutiny!
We all have patience, friends. You go to do you know not what. Wherein hath Caesar thus deserved your loves? Alas, you know not. I must tell you then. You have forgot the will I told you of.
Oh, 'tis true.
We did it.
Here is the will. And under Caesar's seal, to every Roman citizen he gives to every several man 75 drachmas. Hear me with peace. Moreover, he hath given you all his walks, his private arbors and new planted orchards on this side Tiber. He hath given them you, and to your heirs forever. and pleasures to walk abroad and recreate yourselves. Here was a Caesar. When comes such another? Now let it work. Mischief, thou art afoot. Take thou what course thou wilt.
Arden of Faversham is a play that almost nobody's ever heard of. It collected dust for a couple hundred years, and then scholars began to take a look at it and wondered who really did write it. In recent years, computer technology has been added to the fray, and the conclusion was that Shakespeare's digital fingerprints were all over it. Oxford University last year determined that he indeed was the writer of the play with an anonymous collaborator. And Arden of Faversham is unlike anything else in Shakespeare's canon. There are no kings, no queens, no legendary events. Instead, it's about a nobleman who is murdered by his wife and her lover. Lady Alice and Mosby have hired other people to do the deed. And there have been several bungled attempts on Arden's life. At the point at which we picked up the story, their nerves are frayed. Their feelings for each other careen from regret and mistrust to desperate devotion. This is Arden of Faversham, Act 3, Scene 2.
Disturbed thoughts drives me from company and dries my marrow with their watchfulness. Continual trouble of a moody brain feebles my body by excess of drink, and nips me as the bitter northeast wind doth check the tender blossoms in the spring. Well fares the man, however his cates do taste, who tables not with foul suspicion, and he but pines among his delicates, whose troubled mind is stuffed with discontent. My golden time was when I had no gold. Though then I wanted, yet I slept secure. My daily toil begat me night's repose. My night's repose made daylight fresh to me. But since I climbed the top bough of the tree and sought to build my nest among the clouds, each gentle stirry gale doth shake my bed and makes me dread my downfall to the earth. But whither doth contemplation carry me? The way I seek to find where pleasure dwells is hedged behind that I cannot back, but needs must on, although to danger's gate. Then, Arden, perish thou by that decree. Yet Mistress Arden lives. But she is myself, and holy church rites make us two but one. Or what of that? I may not trust you, Alice. You have supplanted Arden for my sake, and will extirpate me to plant another. 'Tis fearful, sleeping in a serpent's bed, and I must cleanly rid my hands of her. Oh, but here she comes, and I must flatter her. How now, Alice? What? Sad and passionate? Make me partaker of thy pensiveness. Fire divided burns with lesser force.
But I will damn that fire in my breast till by the force thereof my part consume. Oh, Mosby!
Such deep suspires, like to a cannon's burst discharged against a ruinated wall, breaks my relenting heart in thousand pieces. Ungentle Alice, thy sorrow is my sore. Thou knowest it well, and 'tis thy policy to forge distressful looks, to wound a breast where lies a heart that dies when thou art sad. It is not love that loves to anger love.
It is not love that loves to murder love.
How mean you that?
Thou knowest how dearly Arden loved me.
And then?
And then conceal the rest, for 'tis too bad, lest that my words be carried with the wind and published in the world to both our shames. I pray thee, Mosby, let our springtime wither. Our harvest else will yield but loathsome weeds. Forget, I pray thee, what hath passed betwixt us. For how I blush and tremble at the thoughts.
What? Are you changed?
I, to my former happy life again. From title of an odious strumpet's name to honest Arden's wife. Not Arden's honest wife. Ha, Mosby, 'tis thou hast rifled me of that, and made me slanderous to all my kin. Even in my forehead is thy name engraved. A mean artificer. That low-born name. I was bewitched. A woe worth the hapless hour, and all the causes that enchanted me.
Nay, if you ban, let me breathe curses forth. And if you stand so nicely on your fame, let me repent the credit that I have lost. I have neglected matters that would have stated me above thy state, spurned at advantages, forgotten time. Mosby's has failed to take fortune by the right hand, that he might take a wanton giglet by the left. I left the marriage of an honest maid, whose dowry would have far outweighed all thy wealth, whose beauty and demeanor far exceeded thee. This certain good I lost for changing bad, and wrapped my credit in thy company. I was bewitched, that is no theme of thine, and thou unhallowed hath enchanted me. But I will break thy spells and thy exorcisms, and put another sight upon these eyes that showed my heart a raven for a dove. Thou art not fair, I viewed thee not till now. Thou art not kind, till now I knew thee not. And now that the rain has beaten off thy gilding, thy worthless copper shows thee counterfeit. It grieves me not to see how foul thou art, but mads me that I ever thought thee fair. Go, get thee gone. I am too good to be thy favorite.
Oh, now I see, and too soon find it true, which often have been told me by my friends, that Mosby loves me not, but for my wealth, which too incredulous I ne'er believed. Nay, hear me speak, Mosby, a word or two. I'll bite my tongue if it speak bitterly. Look on me, Mosby, or I'll kill myself. Nothing shall hide me from thy stormy look. If thou cry war, there is no peace for me. I will do penance for offending thee, and burn this prayer book where I hear use the holy word that had converted me. See, Mosby, I will tear away the leaves, and all the leaves, and in this silver cover shall thy sweet phrases and thy letters dwell. And thereon shall I chiefly meditate, and hold no other devotion, no other sect but for such devotion. Wilt thou not look? Is all thy love o'erwhelmed? Wilt thou not hear? What malice stops thine ear? Why speakest thou not? What silence ties thy tongue? Thou hast been sighted as the eagle is, and heard as quickly as the fearful hare, and spoke as smoothly as an orator. When I have heard thee, bid thee hear or see or speak, and art thou sensible in none of these? Weigh all thy good turns with this little thought, and I deserve not Mosby's muddy looks. Be clear again, I'll ne'er more trouble thee.
No, I am a base artificer. My wings are feathered for a lowly flight. Mosby, fie, no, not for £1,000. Make love to you? Why, 'tis unpardonable. We beggars must not breathe where gentles are.
Sweet Mosby is as gentle as a king, and I too blind to judge him otherwise. Flowers do sometimes spring in fallow lands. Weeds in gardens, roses grow on thorns. So whatsoe'er my Mosby's father was, himself is valued gentle by his worth.
How you women can insinuate and clear a trespass with a sweet set tongue. I will forget this quarrel, gentle Alice, provided that I be tempted so no more.
Then with thy lips seal up this new made.
But soft, Alice, here comes somebody.
Oh, how now, Bradshaw? What's the news with you?
Oh, I have little news, but here is a letter that Master Green importuned me to give to you.
Oh, go in, Bradshaw. Call for a cup of beer. 'Tis almost supper time. Thou shalt stay with us. We have missed of our purpose at London, but shall perform it by the way. We thank our neighbor Bradshaw, yours Richard Green. How likes my love the tenor of that letter?
Well, were Arden's date completed and expired?
Would it were. Then comes my happy hour. Till then, my bliss is mixed with bitter gall. Come, let us in to shun suspicion.
Aye. To the gates of death to follow thee.
The sonnet was the pop song of the Elizabethan era, and Shakespeare was the form's most skillful practitioner. We present to you today the four that were voted the top favorites, and we start with number 18.
Shall I compare thee to summer's day. Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a day. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed. And every fair from fair sometime declines, by chance, nature's changing course, untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest. Nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to tie thou growest. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee.
The Merchant of Venice has one of Shakespeare's most finely created characters, Shylock the moneylender. He's plainly the villain, and yet Shakespeare rouses our sympathy for him, and we clearly understand why he is so bitter and why he is so vindictive. As a Jew and as a moneylender at that period of time, he would have been a reviled figure during an intolerant age. This is The Merchant of Venice, Act 3, Scene 1.
What news on the Rialto?
Why, yet it lives there, unchecked, that Antonio hath the ship of rich lading wrecked on the narrow seas. The Goodwins, I think they call the place, a dangerous flat and fatal, where the carcasses of many a tall ship lie buried. As they say, if my gossip report be an honest woman of her word.
Well, I would she were as lying a gossip in that as ever knocked a ginger or made her neighbors think she wept for the death of a third husband. But it is true, without a slip of proximity or crossing the plain highway of talk, that the good Antonio, the honest Antonio, oh, that I had a title good enough to keep his name company.
Come now, the full stop.
Oh, what sayest thou? The end is he hath lost a ship.
I would that it were the end of his losses.
Ah, let me say amen betime, lest the devil have crossed my prayer. For here he comes in the likeness of a Jew. How now, Shylock? What news among the merchants?
You know, none so well as you, of my daughter's flight.
That's certain. I, for my part, knew the tailor that made the wings she flew withal.
And Shylock, for his own part, knew the bird was fledged. And it is the complexion of them all to leave the dam.
She is damned for it.
Ah, that is certain, if the devil may be her judge.
My own flesh and blood, to rebel.
There is more difference between thy flesh and hers than between jet and ivory, more between thy bloods than between red wine and Rhenish. But tell us, have you heard whether Antonio hath had a loss at sea or no?
There, I have another bad match. A bankrupt, a prodigal, who dare scarce show his head on the Rialto. A beggar who used to give money for a Christian courtesy. Let him look to his bond. He was used to call me usurer. Let him look to his bond. Let him look to his bond.
Why, I am certain, if he forfeit, thou wilt not take his flesh. What good's that for?
Why, to bait fish withal. If it feed nothing else, it will feed my revenge. He hath disgraced me and hindered me $500,000. Mocked at my earnings, my losses, scorned my nation, thwarted my bargains, cooled my friends, heated mine enemies. And what's his reason? I am a Jew. Hath not a Jew eyes? Hath not a Jew hands? Hath organs, dimensions, senses, affections, passions, fed with the same food, hurt with the same weapons, subject to the same diseases, healed by the same means, warmed and cooled by the same winter and summer as a Christian is. If you prick us, do we not bleed? If you tickle us, do we not laugh? If you poison us, do we not die? And if you wrong us, shall we not revenge? If we are like you in the rest, we will resemble you in that. If a Jew wrong a Christian, what is his humility? Revenge. If a Christian wrong a Jew, what then should his sufferance be? By Christian example? Why, revenge. The villainy you teach me I shall execute, and it shall go hard. I will better the instruction.
Gentlemen, my master Antonio is at his house and desires to speak with you both.
We have been up and down to seek him.
Yeah, Leah. Oh, here comes another of the tribe. A third cannot be matched unless the devil himself turned Jew.
How now, good Tubal? What news from Genoa? Have they found my daughter?
Well, I often came where I did hear of her, but cannot find her.
There. A diamond gone. Cost me 2,000 ducats in Frankfurt. The curse never fell on our nation till now. I never felt it till now. 2,000 ducats in that. And other precious jewels. I would my daughter be dead at my foot with the jewels in her ear. Would she be hearsed at my foot with the ducats in her coffin? No word from her, no news, why so? And I know not what's spent in the search. Why, it's loss upon loss, with the thief gone with so much to find the thief. No satisfaction, no revenge, and no ill luck stirring, but the lights on my shoulders. No sighs, but of my breathing. no tears. My shame.
Yes, other men have ill luck too. Antonio, as I heard in Genoa,
What? Ill luck, ill luck.
Captain Argosy, cast away, coming from Tripoli.
Thank God! Thank God! It is true, it is true.
Well, I spoke with some of the sailors that escaped the wreck.
I thank thee, good Tubal. Good news, good news. Where? In Genoa?
Your daughter spent in Genoa, as I heard, in one night 80 ducats.
Sticketh a dagger in me. I shall never see my gold again. 80 ducats in a city. 80 ducats.
There came a diverse of Antonio's creditors to my company in Venice that swear he cannot choose but break.
I am very glad of it. I'll plague him. I'll torture him. I'm glad of it.
One of them showed me a ring that he had of your daughter for a monkey.
Out with her! Thou torturest me, Tubal. It was my turquoise. I had it of my wife, Leah, when I was just a bachelor. I would not have given it for a wilderness of monkeys.
But Antonio is certainly undone.
Maybe. That's true. That's very true. Go, Tubal. Fee me an officer, bespeak him a fortnight before. I will have the heart of him if he forfeit. For with him out of Venice, I may make what merchandise I will. Go, Tubal, and meet me at our synagogue. Go, good Tubal, at our synagogue, Tubal.
Sonnet 104. To me, fair friend, you never can be old. For as you were when first your eye, such seems your beauty still. 3 winters cold have from the forests shook 3 summers' pride. 3 beauteous springs to yellow autumn turned. In process of the seasons have I seen 3 April perfumes in 3 hot Junes burned. Since first I saw you, fresh, which yet are green. Ah, yet doth beauty like a dial hand steal from his figure, and no pace perceived. So your sweet view, which methinks still doth stand, hath motion, and mine eye may be deceived. For fear of which, hear this, thou age unbred, ere you were born, was beauty's summer dead. There is a
Shakespearean verbal battle between Beatrice and Benedict. It started when Beatrice lent her heart to Benedict and then pulled it back without care. For his part, he's not had a civil word to say about her since. Yet, they are in love. So let us join the bard's merry war with Much Ado About Nothing, Act 1, Scene 2.
Before we start, I have two announcements. Nothing to do with the play. At the very end of this extraordinary performance level, we will have a meet and greet outside. Please take a few minutes, thank the actors for their extraordinary efforts. And the second, with sincerity and purity of heart, in an effort of 100 years, if we thank Marcia Kennedy every day, twice a day, it would not be enough to show the appreciation we have for her kindness, her caring, her dignity and humanity. Without her, we would not have a Stratford Players. Marcia, I know you weren't expecting this. Are you close? Step me out. A round of applause. Much Ado About Nothing.
I wonder that you still be talking, Signor Benedict. No one marks you.
My dear ladies Disdain, are you yet living?
Is it possible that Disdain should die while she has such food to feed it as Signor Benedict? Courtesy itself must convert to Disdain if you come in her presence.
Then courtesy is a turncoat. But I am certain I am loved by all ladies. And I would, if I could, have a hard heart, for only you accepted, love me not.
A dear happiness for women. Or else they would have been troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank God and my cold blood that I am that of your humor. For I had rather a dog, my dog, bark at a crow than a man say he loves me.
God keep your ladyship in that mind, so some gentleman can avoid a predestined scratched face.
No, scratching would not make it worse if it were your face.
You are a rare parrot teacher.
A bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
I wish my horse had the speed of your tongue, and so in good container. But by God's name, I am done.
You always end with a jade's trick. I know you of old. I would have loved you if you had removed your manure from your attitude. And your manner from the barnyard. Oh, what music we would have made.
I could have loved you and kissed the heel of your gown with enthusiasm, pride, and respect if you would have provided me half a chance and a happy glance, my dear.
Let us continue this tete-a-tete where we might have some privacy and room for spooning.
Some of our actors are also singers, and they've prepared two madrigals for you today. The music of both is by a man who was famous in his own time. He was a contemporary and probable friend of Shakespeare, and that, of course, is Thomas Morley. The one they're going to do in the afternoon actually has the lyrics composed by Shakespeare himself. Right now, please enjoy the merry month of Maying.
Now is the month of May, when merry lads are playing. La 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 la, la 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 la. Now is the month of May, when merry lads are playing. La 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 la, la 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 la. Each with his bonny lass, are dancing on the grass. La 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 la. Each with his bonny lass, a dancing on the grass. La 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 la. The spring clad all in gladness doth laugh at winter's sadness. La 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 la. La 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 la. The spring clad all in gladness doth laugh at winter's sadness. La 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 la. La 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 la. And to the bagpipe song, the nymphs tread out the ground. La 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 la. And to the bagpipe song, the nymphs tread out the ground. La 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 la. Why then, why sit we musing, you sweet delights refusing? La 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 la, la 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 la. Why then, why sit we musing, you sweet delights refusing? La 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 la, la 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 la. Say, dainty nymphs, and speak, shall we play barley break? La 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 la. Say, dainty nymphs, and speak, shall we play barley break? La 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 la.
I have another general announcement. It is intermission. We have some cookies, some beverages, and to speak with a true heart, please know we've had wonderful audiences this whole season, but you're the best of all, and I love
Pretty much everybody knows that Shakespeare's tragedies, even the most solemn ones, had some comic relief in them. And we're going to present to you today an unconventional take on the very famous gravedigger scene from Hamlet. Now, some of you are in the back and you really can't see too much of what's going on the stage. And I don't want anybody obsessing so much that they don't listen to the words saying, what are they doing? What is it? Is it real? Okay. Yes. This is real dirt. They're going to be digging it up here. So we present to you, and they have to work at it too, with these little flat shovels they have. Wait till you see. It's Hamlet, Act 5, Scene 1.
Is she to be given a Christian burial when she willfully seeks her own salvation?
Well, I tell thee she is. The crowner hath sat on it and find it a Christian burial.
How can it be unless she drowned herself in her own defense?
'Tis found so.
And here lies the point. If I drown myself wittingly, it argues an act. An act hath three branches: to act, to do, to perform. Therefore, she drowned herself wittingly.
Nay, but hear you, good mistress.
Well, give me leave. Here lies the water. Good. Here stands the man.
Good.
If the man go to the water and drown himself, it is willy-nilly he goes, mark you that. But if the water comes to the man and drowns him, he drowns not himself. He that is not guilty of his own death shortens not his own life.
But is that law?
Aye, 'tis Crowner's Quest law.
If this had not been a gentlewoman, she should have been buried out of Christian burial.
And the more pity that great folks should have liberty in this world to drown or hang themselves more than their fellow Christian.
My spade. There is no ancient gentleman here, only gardeners, ditchers, and grave makers. They hold up Adam's profession.
Was he a gentleman?
Abe was the very first that bare arms.
Why, he had none.
What? Art a heathen? How dost thou understand the scripture? The scripture says Adam digged. Could he dig without arms? I'll put another question to thee.
Oh, go to.
What is he that builds stronger than either? The mason, shipwright, or the carpenter?
Oh, the gallows maker, for his frame sees 1,000 tenants.
I like thy wit well in good faith. The gallows does well, but how does it well? It does well to those that do ill. Now, thou dost ill to say the gallows is built stronger than the church. The gallows may do well to thee.
Oh.
In youth, when I did love, methought it was very sweet to take out the time for my behold. Oh, methought there was nothing I'll meet.
Has this woman no feeling of her business that she sings at grave making?
Why, custom hath made her the property of easiness.
Age has sneaked up on me, clawed me in its clutch, shipped me into the ground, till I have never been such.
Well now, that skull had a tongue in it, and could sing once. Ha! Might this have been the pate of a politician? One who would circumvent God, might it not?
Or the courtier, which could say, Good morrow, sweet lord. How dost thou, good lord? This might be my lord such a one, that praised my lord such a one's horse when he meant to beg it, might it not?
Oh, and even so. And now you're my lady's worms that knocked about the mazzard with the mistress's spade.
Pickaxe a spade, and a shrouding sheet, or pit of clay for to be made, for such a guest is meet.
There's another. Why may not that be the skull of a lawyer? Where be his quiddits now, his cases and his tricks? Why does he suffer this rude skirt now, to knock him about the scones with a dirty shovel, and will not tell her of her action of battery? Huh!
Ah, and this man in his time might have been a great buyer of land, with his statutes and his fines and his double vouchers and his recoveries. Is this the fine of your fines and the recovery of your recoveries? That your fine pate is full of fine dirt. Ha!
How long hast thou been a grave maker?
Of all the days of the year, I can't even put that that day when our last King Hamlet overcame Fortinbras.
How long is that since?
Cannot you tell that? Every fool can tell that. 'Twas the day young Hamlet was born. He that was mad and was sent to England.
Ay, Mary, why was he sent into England?
Why? Because they was mad. They shall recover his wits there. If they do not, 'tis no great matter there.
Why?
Well, all the men are mad there. 'Twill not be seen in England.
How came he mad?
Strangely, they say.
How strangely?
They theme with losing his wits.
Upon what grounds?
Why, here in Denmark.
Dost thou think that Alexander looked o' this fashion in the earth,
And so,
and smelt so?
even so, mistress.
To what base uses may we return? Why may not imagination trace the royal dust of Alexander until he finds it stuck in a bunghole?
Twere to consider too curiously to consider so?
Oh, no, faith, not a jot, but to follow him thither thus. Alexander died. Alexander was buried. Alexander turned to dust. Of dust we make loam. Of this loam, why may they not stop a beer barrel?
Imperious Caesar, dead and turned to clay, might stop a hole to keep the wind away. Oh, that earth which kept the world in awe should patch a wall to expel the winter's flaw.
Oh, may just creep up on me, grab me in its claws, and shift me into the ground as if I'd never been like that. Pickaxe, a shovel, a sheet for a funeral shroud, a pit of dirt is what we need for a guest like this one here.
Sonnet 73. That time of year thou mayest in me behold, when yellow leaves, or none, or few, do hang upon those boughs which shake against the cold. Bare ruined choirs, where late the sweet birds sang. In me thou seest the twilight of such day as after sunset fadeth in the west, which by and by black night doth take away, death's second self, that seals up all in rest. In me thou seest the glowing of such fire that on the ashes of his youth doth lie, as the deathbed whereon it must expire, consumed with that which it was nourished by. This thou perceivest, which makes thy love more strong, to love that well, which thou must leave ere
After a long and bloody reign, doom approaches King Macbeth. He's holed up in his castle with his mad wife, his allies have fled, and his enemies are on the move. Yet he clings to the witch's prophecy that his reign will endure until the forest itself moves to the walls of his palace, his castle at Dunsinane. That is impossible, right? This is Hamlet, Act 5, Scenes 3, 4, and 5.
Bring me no more reports. Let them fly all. Till Burnham Wood removed at Dunsinane, I cannot taint with fear. What's this boy Malcolm? Was he not born of woman? The spirits that know all human consequence have pronounced me thus: fear not, Macbeth. No man that's born of woman shall e'er have power upon thee. Then fly, false thanes, and mingle with the English epicures. The mind I sway by and the heart I bear can never sag with doubt or shake with fear. The devil damn thee black, thou cream-faced loon. Whither goest thou this goose look?
There's 10,000
Geese, villain?
soldiers, sir.
Go prick thy cheeks and overret thy fear. What soldiers, Patch? Death of thy soul, those linen cheeks of thine are counselors to fear. What soldiers, Wayface?
The English force, so please me.
Take thy face points. I am sick at heart when I behold Seaton! Seaton, I say! This push will cheer me ever or deceit me now. I have lived long enough. My way of life is fallen into the sere, the yellow leaf, and that which should accompany old age as honor, love, obedience, troops of friends, I must not look to have, but in their stead curses, not loud, deep, mouth honor, breath, which the poor heart would fain deny, yet dare not. Seaton!
What is your gracious pleasure?
What news more?
All is confirmed, my lord, which was reported.
I'll fight till from my bones my flesh be hacked. Send out more horses. Scour the country round. Hang those that talk of fear. How does thy patient, healer?
Well, not so sick, my lord, as she is troubled with thick coming fancies that keep her from her rest.
Will cure her of that. Canst thou not minister to a mind diseased, pluck from the memory a rooted sorrow, raise out the written troubles of the brain, and with some sweet oblivious antidote cleanse the stuffed bosom of the perilous stuff that weighs upon the heart?
Wherein the patient must minister to himself.
Throw physic to the dogs, all none of it. Healer, my thanes fly from me. If thou couldst, healer, cast the water of my land, find her disease, and cleanse it to a pristine health, I would applaud thee to the very echo that would applaud again. What rhubarb, cyme, or what purgative drug would scour these English hence? Hearest thou of them?
Oh, aye, my good lord. Your royal preparations make us hear something.
I will not fear death or bane, till Burnham Forest come to Dunsinane.
Were I from Dunsinane away and clear, profit again would hardly draw me here.
Cousin, I hope the days are near at hand when chambers shall be safe.
We doubt it nothing.
What wood is this before us?
Why, the wood of Burnham.
Every soldier hew him down a bough, and bear it before him. Thereby shall we shadow the numbers of our host, and make discovery err in report of us.
We learn no other, but the confident tyrant keeps still in Dunsinane, and will endure our setting down before it.
'Tis his main hope, for where there is advantage to be given, both more and less have given him the revolt, and none serve with him but constrained things whose hearts are absent too.
Let our just censures attend the true event, and put we on industrious soldiership.
The time approaches that will with due decision make us know what we shall say we have and what we owe. Thoughts speculative their idle hopes relate, but certain issue strokes must arbitrate, towards which advance the war.
Hang out the banners on the outward walls. The cry is still they come. Our castle's strength will laugh a siege to scorn. Let them lie here till famine and the ague eat them up. Were they not forced with those that should be ours, we might have met them dareful, beard to beard, and beat them backward home. What is that noise?
It is the cry of women, my good lord.
I have almost forgot the taste of fears. Time has been, my senses would have cooled to hear a night shriek, when my fell of hair would at a dismal treatise rouse and stir as life was in it. I have supped full with horrors. Direness, so familiar to my slaughterous thoughts, cannot once start me. Wherefore was that cry?
The queen, my lord, is dead.
She should have died hereafter. There would have been time for such a word. Tomorrow, and tomorrow, tomorrow, creeps in this petty pace from day to day to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow. The whore player who struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Thou comest to use thy tongue, thy story quickly.
Gracious my lord, I should report that which I say I saw, but know not how to do it.
Well, say, sir.
As I did stand my watch upon the hill, I looked toward Burnham, and anon, methought, the wood began to move.
Fire and flame!
Let me endure your wrath if it be not so. Within this 3 mile may you see it coming. I say, a moving grove.
If thou liest, upon the next tree shalt thou hang alive till famine cling thee. If thy speech be sooth, I care not if you do for me as much. I pull in resolution and begin to doubt the equivocation of the fiend that lies like truth. Fear not till Burnham Wood do come to Dunsinane. And now a wood comes towards Dunsinane. Arm, arm, and out! If this which he avouches does appear, there is nor flying hence, nor tarrying here. I begin to grow aweary of the sun, and wish the estate of the world were now undone. Ring the alarum bell! Blow wind! Come, rack! At least we'll die with armor on our back.
Sonnet 116 by William Shakespeare. Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love which alters when an alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. No, it is an ever-fixed mark that looks on tempests and is never shaken. It is the star to every wandering bark, whose worth's unknown, although his height be taken. Love's not time's fool, though rosy lips and cheeks within his bending sickle's compass come. Love alters not with his brief hours and weeks, but bears it out to the edge of doom. If this be error, then upon me proved, I never writ, nor no man ever loved.
Romeo and Juliet have secretly wed. It is the morning after they have spent their first night together. The new bride watches as her beloved husband steals silently away. Her heart is full of foreboding, and then the morning just gets worse and worse and worse. This is Romeo and Juliet, Act 3, Scene 5.
Art thou gone so? Love, Lord, I, husband, friend, I must hear from thee every day in the hour, for in a minute there are many days. By this count I shall be much in years ere I again behold my Romeo. Oh, fortune, fortune, all men call thee fickle. Thou art fickle, what dost thou with him that is renowned for faith? Be fickle, fortune, for then I hope thou wilt not keep him long, but send him back.
Oh, daughter, are you up?
Who is it that calls? Is it my lady mother? Is she not down so late or up so early? What unaccustomed cause procures her hither?
Oh, well, how now, Juliet?
Madam, I am not well.
Ever more weeping for your cousin's death? What, will you wash him from his grave with your tears? And if thou couldst not make him live. Therefore have done. Some grief shows much of love. but much grief shows still some want of wit.
Let me weep for such a feeling loss.
Oh, so shall you feel the loss, but not the one you weep for?
Feeling so the loss cannot choose but ever weep the friend.
That is because the traitor murderer lives.
Aye, madam, from the reach of these my hands, with none but I might venge my cousin's death.
Oh, we will have vengeance, fear thou not, then weep no more. I'll send one to Mantua, where that banished renegade doth live, and shall give him such an unaccustomed dram that he will soon keep Tybalt company. And then I hope thou wilt be satisfied.
Indeed, I never shall be satisfied with Romeo till I behold him dead. Is my poor heart for a kinsman vexed? Madam, if you could but find out a man to bear a poison, I would temper it. But Romeo should, upon receipt thereof, soon sleep in quiet. Oh, how my heart abhors to hear him named and cannot come to him. To wreak the love I bore my cousin upon the body that slaughtered him.
Well, find thou the means, and I'll find such a man. But today I bring my child good tidings.
Joy comes well in such a needy time. What are they, I beseech your ladyship?
Well, thou hast a careful father, child, one who, to put thee from thy heaviness, has sorted out a sudden day of joy that you expected not, nor I not looked for.
Madam, in happy time, what day is that?
Why, Mary, my child, early next Thursday morn, the gallant and noble gentleman, the County Paris, shall at St. Peter's Church, shall happily make thee there a joyful bride.
Now by St. Peter's Church and Peter too, he shall not make me there a joyful bride. I wonder at this haste. Then I must wed ere he that should be husband comes to woo. I pray you tell my lord and father, madam, I will not marry yet. When I do, I swear it shall be Romeo, whom you know I hate, rather than Paris. These are news indeed.
Well, here comes your father. Tell him so yourself, and see how he takes it at your hands.
No.
When the sun sets, the air doth drizzle. But for the sunset of my brother's son, it rains down light. How now, a conduit girl? What? Still in tears? Evermore showering? Why, in one little body thou counterfeitest a bark, a sea, a wind. For still thy eyes, which I may call the sea, doth heaven flow with tears. The bark thy body is, sailing in this slow flood. The winds thy sighs, raging with thy tears, and they with them, without a sudden calm, will overset thy tempest-tossed body. How now, wife, have you delivered to her our decree?
Aye, sir, and she will have none of it. Oh, she gives you thanks. I would that the fool were married to her grave.
Soft, take me with you, wife. How will she none? Does she not give us thanks? Is she not proud? Does she not count her blessed, unworthy as she is, that we have wrought so worthy a gentleman to be her bridegroom?
Not proud you have, but thankful that you have. Proud can I never be of what I hate, but thankful even for hate that is meant love.
How now? How now? Chop logic. What is this? Proud, and I thank you, and I thank you not, and yet not proud, Mistress Minion, you? Thank me no thankings, nor proud me nor proud, but fettle thy fine joint against Thursday next to go with Paris to St. Peter's Church, or I'll drag thee hither on a girdle. Out, you green sickness carrion! Out, you baggage! You tallow face!
Fie! What art thou mad?
Good Father, I beseech you on my knees. Hear me with patience, but to speak a word.
Oh, hang thee, young baggage, disobedient wretch. I tell thee what. Get thee to church on Thursday, or never after look me in the face.
Father,
Speak not. Reply not. Do not answer me. My fingers itch. Wife, we scarce thought us blessed that God had lent us but this only child, and now I see that this one is one too much. We have her cursed, having her. Out on her, Hilding.
God, heaven bless her. You are to blame, my lord, to right her so.
And why, my lady, wisdom? Hold your tongue, good Prudence. What's the matter with your gossip? Go!
I speak no treason.
God, ye goddamn!
Cannot one speak?
Oh, peace, you mumbling fool! Utter your gravity or a gossip's bowl, for here we need it not.
Oh, you are too hot.
Oh, God, it makes me mad. Day, night, hour, tide, time, work, play, alone, in company. And still my care hath been to have her matched. And now, having provided a gentleman of noble parentage, of fair domains, youthful and nobly trained, stuffed, as they say, with honorable parts, proportioned as one's thoughts would wish a man. And then to have a wretched, puling fool, a whining mammoth in her, temper tested, to answer, I'm not wed, I cannot love, I'm too young, I pray you pardon me. But as you'll not wed, I'll pardon you. Graves where you will, you shall not house with me. Look to it. Think on it. I do not use in jest. Thursday is near. Lay hand on heart, advise. You be mine, I give you to my friend. And you be not hang, beg, starve, die in the streets. For on my soul I'll ne'er acknowledge thee, nor what is mine shall never do thee good. Trust to it. Bethink you. I'll not be forsworn.
is there no pity sitting in the clouds that sees into the bottom of my grief? Oh, sweet my mother, cast me not away. Delay this marriage for a month, a week, or if you do not, make the bridal bed in that dim monument where Tybalt lies.
Talk not to me, or I'll not speak a word. Do as thou thou wilt, for I have done with thee.
Oh God, oh nurse, how shall this be prevented? My husband is on earth, my faith in heaven. How shall that faith return to earth again, unless that husband send it me? From heaven, by leaving earth? Comfort me, counsel me. Alack, that heaven should practice stratagems upon so soft a subject as myself. What sayest thou? Hast thou not a word of joy? Oh, some comfort, nurse?
Faith, here it is. Romeo is banished, and all the world to nothing, that he dares near come back to challenge you. And if you do, it needs must be by stealth. Then, so the case now stands, as now it doth. I think it best you marry with the county. He's a lovely gentleman. Romeo's a despot to him, an eagle, madam. Hath not so green, so quick, so fair an eye as Paris hath? Very shrewd, my very heart. I think you are happy in this second match, for it excels your first. Or, if it did not, your first is dead. Or 'twere as good he were, as living here, and you no use of him.
Speakest thou from thy heart?
And from my soul too, or else beshrew them both.
Amen.
What?
Well, thou hast comforted me marvelous much. Go in, and tell my lady I am gone, having displeased my father, to Friar Lawrence's cell, to make confession and be absolved.
Mary, I will. It is wisely done.
Ancient damnation! Almost wicked fiend! Is it more sin to wish me thus forsworn, or to dispraise my Lord with that same tongue which she hath praised him with above compare so many thousand times? Go, counselor! Thou and my bosom henceforth shall be twain. All to the friar to know his remedy. If all else fail, myself have power to die.
Turn it for me. It was a lover and his lass, with a hey and a ho, and a hey nonny no, and a hey nonny nonny no. That o'er the green cornfields did pass in springtime, the springtime, the only pretty ringtime, when birds do sing, hey ding-a-ding-a-ding, hey ding-a-ding-a-ding, hey ding-a-ding-a-ding, sweet lovers love the spring in springtime. In springtime, the only pretty ringtime, when birds do sing, hey ding-a-ding-a-ding, hey ding-a-ding-a-ding.
In springtime, the springtime, the only pretty ringtime, when birds do sing, hey ding-a-ding-a-ding, hey ding-a-ding-a-ding, hey ding-a-ding-a-ding, sweet lovers love the spring.
This carol they began that hour
With a hey and a ho and a hey, nonny no, and a hey, nonny nonny no.
how that our life was but a flower.
In springtime, the springtime, the only pretty ringtime, when birds do sing, hey ding-a-ding-a-ding, hey ding-a-ding-a-ding, hey ding-a-ding-a-ding, sweet lovers love the spring. And therefore take the present time with a hey and a ho and a hey, nonny no, and a hey, nonny nonny no. That love is crowned with the prime in springtime, the springtime, the only pretty ringtime, when birds do sing, hey ding-a-ding-a-ding, hey ding-a-ding-a-ding, hey ding-a-ding-a-ding, sweet lovers love the spring. In springtime, the only pretty ringtime, when birds do sing, hey ding-a-ding-a-ding, hey ding-a-ding-a-ding, hey ding-a-ding-a-ding, sweet lovers love the spring.
On a Sunday morning in the year 1415, King Henry V and an army of 5,000 men faced off against a superior French force on a field near the castle of Agincourt in northwestern France. The British were exhausted from a long journey. They were fighting on unfamiliar ground, and they were outnumbered by the French 4 men to 1. They could not have survived the day. But due in part to the overconfidence of the French, in part to superior weapons and the fortunate geography of the battlefield, and due in no small part to the skill and valor of the British troops, they not only survived, they won. In fact, it was a rout. And the Battle of Agincourt is remembered to this day as one of the proudest moments of British military history. In the dark hour before dawn, this outcome cannot possibly be foretold, and these men have every reason to suppose that the coming sunrise will be the last they ever see. The mood in camp is grim. One of Henry's generals, not realizing that the king has entered the scene, sums up the prevailing feeling as he laments, "Oh, that we now had here but 1/10,000 of those men in England who do no work today." What's he that wishes so? My cousin Westmoreland. No, my fair cousin. If we are marked to die, we are enough to do our country loss. And if to live, the fewer men, the greater the share of honor. By Jove, I am not covetous for gold, nor care I who doth feed upon my cost. It yearns me not if men my garments wear. Such outward things dwell not in my desires. But if it be a sin to covet honor, I am the most offending soul alive. No, faith, my cousin, wish not one man from England. Rather, proclaim it through my host. He which hath no stomach to this fight, let him depart. His passport shall be made, and coins for transit put into his purse. We would not die in that man's company who fears his fellowship to die with us. This day is called the Feast of St. Crispin, He who outlives this day and comes safe home will stand a tiptoe when this day is named and rouse him at the name of Crispin. He that shall see this day and live old age will yearly on the vigil feast his neighbors and say, tomorrow is Saint Crispin. Then will he strip his sleeve and show his scars and say, these wounds had I on Crispin's day. Old men forget, yet all shall be forgot. But he'll remember, with advantages, the feats that he did that day. And then our names, as familiar in his mouth as household words, Harry the King, Bedford and Exeter, Warwick, Talbot, Salisbury, Gloucester, will be in their flowing cups freshly remembered. This story shall the good man teach his son, and Crispin's feast shall ne'er go by from this day to the ending of the world, but we in it shall be remembered. We few, we happy few, we band of brothers. For he today who sheds his blood with me shall be my brother. Be he ne'er so vile, this day shall gentle his condition. And gentlemen in England now abed will think themselves accursed that they were not here, and hold their manhoods cheap, whilst any speaks who fought with us on St. Crispin's Day.